Hello, please excuse my voice. I have been nursing a cold, but I wanted to say something um, about the idea of glowing up versus growing up. I listened to a really good video today by a gentleman that was talking about a young man, one of his friends, who had ran into a woman that he was in a relationship. And when he was in that relationship, she was just, he dogged her out or whatever. She gave him chance after chance. And years had passed, and she was looking good and doing good. And when she saw him, she didn't acknowledge him. And so the guy was helping this young man understand that it's not that um, she switched it up; it's that she doesn't even see you the same. And that got me to thinking about how a lot of women uh, transition out of dysfunctional and bad relationships. The world is encouraging us to consume ourselves with glowing up. That means that make sure that if you run into him, that you are looking good and you make him remember what he had, right? Um, Make sure that you are living your best life. And a lot of times you're not necessarily living your best life, but you want people to believe, or those individuals to believe that you're living your best life. So you're going to share snapshots of you traveling and hanging with your girls and, um, looking good and showing your body and all this kind of stuff, getting your degrees and starting your business and all this stuff, which is good, but the glow up is just for show. But when you grow up, this is for life. This is when you develop the mindsets, the perceptions of yourself and other people. When you develop wisdom, when you develop discernment, because what happens between that breakup and you growing up, truly, you don't even see uh, your past the same way because you're not even the same version of yourself, right? Um, and so when you run into those individuals from your past, there might not be any bitterness, um, but at the same time, there's no um, desire to go back, you know, or to even seek their approval because you've grown up. Um, that season, that past season of your life, attracted a broken version of you, a less mature version of you. And that's why you were drawn to those things and those people. But when you grow up, those things don't look the same to you. You don't have a desire for dysfunction. You don't have a desire for those things from your past. And so the goal is not to glow up. I know that sounds real good and real fly, you know, and but that's not the goal. The goal is to grow up. Because what I've learned, and I had to learn this the hard way, that particularly when it comes to relationships, that as good as I felt that I was a good woman, a faithful woman in my past relationships. Um, but as good as I was and as faithful as I was, I could not have chosen a healthy man or a healthy relationship because I was not a healthy woman. And that's where the grow up comes into play. And so when you get out of those dysfunctional relationships, that's why that time with you and the Lord is so important. Not just getting close enough to God to help you feel better about yourself or to restore the things that have been broken in your life, your finances, your credit, broken leases and all that kind of stuff. Not just for that. But I'm talking about a transformation of your inner man. becoming a woman that pleases God, or even a person, because men deal with the same stuff. And so don't let the world deceive you into believing that the goal is to glow up. The goal is not to glow up, but the goal is to grow up.